Whoa.
Excuse me.
No, you may not. Leave.
Excuse me.
Get out.
Today we stand.
Get out.
Excuse me.
Get out. Now. Get out. Now. Get out.
That's
Get
no.
out. Get out. Want some too?
Excuse me.
Get out. Get out.
Excuse me.
Do you have a
Now.
problem?
Get out.
That's no.
Out. Get out.
Excuse me. Give me my paper.
That's illegal.
Alright.
Stop! Stop!
This is Michael Carson back with another video. What I did there is I showed you the video of the protesting students to start with there. I had already recorded the reading of the article, so I played the video again, but there's also a second video of the interview of the girl that is actually filming that's later in this video. So if you want to watch that, go right ahead. You can skip the video when I replay it again. I'm not gonna re-record a whole bunch of audio just to compensate for that. So you can just skip the video when it plays again if you wish to. Apparently, there is a article that a lot of people missed over on the College Fix. It's written by Dave Huber. I read a different article from Dave about the Mayans, which is very interesting. But this one is kind of funny. This one, a pro-Hamas protester barged into class and got tossed out. So it's kind of interesting and kind of funny. I'm just doing it just because it's kind of funny. So let's go ahead and go over the article here. It's CU Boulder pro-Hamas protesters barge into class to get yanked out by their kifas. It's Dave Hubert, the associate editor. Some instructors appear to be fed up. A trio of Hamas student activists recently barged into a University of Colorado Boulder classroom and were promptly hauled back out by their kifas. The Daily Camera reports that after entering the Designing for Defense class last week, one of the activists went into the front of the room and prepared to read a speech, whereupon a man appeared to be the instructor said, "No, you may not," then grabbed the statement and said, "Get out." Soon after, a video from Buffs for Palestine showed two men, one of whom appeared to be neither an employee or student, according to the camera, dragging the activists from the room. Two students were violently assaulted by a CU Boulder professor for interrupting a Designing for Defense class, a course that directly collaborates with the U.S. military to develop weapons and surveillance tools while the Israeli regime carries out U.S.-funded whatever in Gaza, which is, no, they don't, because Gaza is the one that starts crap. So that's complete BS. A Buffs for You Palestine statement reads, "Their actions were not only justified, it was morally necessary. The group demanded the class be shut down, that CU divest from Israel and all arms manufacturers, seize out cooperation with ICE, and issue public commendation of the assault against the activists." Well, that's funny. Colorado's turned blue, but it used to be Republican, and it has a lot of military-related stuff in the state. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like these protesters trying to do stuff, especially when they're interrupting paid-for classes. They're ruining the students' education when they do this. Your CU chooses to side with the G. The statement concludes, "Buffs for Palestine will make it impossible for them to do so in peace." See, I don't believe the G side is one way, per se. I believe it is being caused by Hamas running in and killing and murdering innocent civilians. So I don't say genocide when it comes to Israeli actions against Hamas, because they've shown themselves to be people that you need to deal with, whether you want to or not. The pro-Hamas student organization has been bad standing since has been in bad standing since October due to violations of university policy. This includes disrupting the career fair and using amplified sound. There's a video here I'll go ahead and play.
Hello.
Excuse me.
No, you may not. Leave. Get out.
Today we stand
Get out.
accusers.
Get out. Now. Get out. Now. Get out. Get
No!
out. Get out. You want some too? Get out. Get out.
Excuse me.
Do you have a
Now.
problem?
Get out.
That's no!
Get out.
Excuse me. Give me my paper.
That's illegal.
All right.
Stop! Stop!
Professors are clearly trying to interrupt a class that they have no business being in to begin with, because they weren't in there to start with. It's not illegal. You weren't, and obviously they were there to disrupt, and that's a video of the actual incident, as you can see. The local affiliate interviewed one of the classroom invading activists who said the whole experience was terrifying. Our goal was to go in and read our statement, which was about 2 or 3 minutes long, and then leave. The mask-covered, blurred-out female activist said, alternatively, if we were told to leave beforehand, we would just leave. It was not worth more than that. See, the thing is, you can't interrupt a class that you're not even part of. You can't do that. There's people paid to be in that class, so they have no right to do that. She added the violence that occurred was a horrific example of the attitudes against protesters in the CU Boulder campus. Let me go ahead and play this video here.
An anonymous viewer reached out to us after a physical fight broke out between University of Colorado instructors and student protesters after those students disrupted a class. And the entire thing caught on camera. Well, tonight, your reporter, Gabriela Vidal, joins us live now after speaking with one of those students involved in that altercation, Gabby.
Yeah, and that student decided to stay anonymous to protect her identity, especially in a situation like this. Now, she says that the goal during this demonstration inside one classroom was meant to send a message about the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict and never expected to escalate to what it did.
It was terrifying.
A fear that's prompted this CU Boulder student and activist to speak up after capturing video of what she says were her and 2 other students allegedly being attacked during an anti-war demonstration.
We just think that something vastly immoral is happening in Gaza and in the West Bank, and it's important to say something and stand up against what's happening.
They chose to demonstrate in the middle of a Designing for Defense class, a course that partners with companies in the national security community.
Our goal was to go in and read our statement, which was about 2 to 3 minutes long, and then leave. Alternatively, if we were told to leave beforehand, we would just leave because it was not worth more than that.
This student says all 3 entered the classroom wearing keffiyehs, a Palestinian symbol and headscarf used to protect their identity. One of the students goes up to read a statement before the instructor appears to take the student's paper and demand they leave the classroom.
Leave. Get out.
Today we stand
Get out.
The instructor is walking towards me and I'm backing away at the same time, and I kind of feel like something tugging at my head. Someone had grabbed a hold of my head cover and was trying to rip it off, and in the process I fell backwards.
Stop!
When the students exit the room, she says the same man who pulled on her headscarf, who CU officials say is a professional mentor, started to pull on one of the other students' headscarves in the hallway.
In the process he was kind of jerking him back and forth, and it seemed like he had hit his head against the wall, and so I was just standing there like trying to get it to stop.
The university released a statement in response saying campus police are investigating the incident. Quote, CU Boulder condemns acts of violence and does not tolerate classroom disruptions, both of which violate state law and university policies. Our campus has long supported our campus community's right to free expression, so long as those activities are carried out legally and in line with university policy and do not threaten public safety.
The violence that occurred yesterday was just a horrific example of the attitudes against protesters on this campus.
And CBS Colorado also reached out to the instructor for this Designing for Defense course for comment, but we have not heard back yet. Karen,
all right. Yeah,
definitely a developing story for sure.
Yeah, it is. Thank you for bringing this to light for us. Thank you, Gab.
Let me finish reading the article because it's only a couple lines left, and then I'll make a statement on that. Because in a statement, the university said it condemns the act of violence and does not tolerate classroom disruptions, both of which violate state law and university policies. Our campus has long supported our campus community's rights to free expression so long as their activities are carried out in a legal and in line with university policy and do not threaten public safety. See, as that video showed, they went in with their faces covered. People didn't know what they were about. It doesn't matter. You went in with your faces covered. You weren't protesting peacefully with a sign or something. You tried to occupy a class in which you had no business occupying. And they got kicked out. And that's the thing. They were hiding their faces. So people didn't know what their intentions were. They could have had weapons with them. And that's why they were trying to rip the kifas from the faces so they could identify them later. I mean, it's one thing to protest without a mask. It's quite another thing to protest with your face completely covered. And when you do that, you pose a bigger safety risk to everybody. And in a way, they got what they deserved. They're lucky they didn't get hurt because people don't know what you're going to do when you're covering your face like that, and it's a very dangerous activity. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please consider watching another, and I thank you for watching, and have yourself a good day, and hit the like button on the way out, and see you in the next one. Again, thank you for watching. Please consider watching another video. Like and share so the videos get traction, and I appreciate it, and have yourself a wonderful day.